Chosen one, what I am about to reveal is beyond what any mortal, scholar, or believer has ever dared to imagine. You have shifted into a god, a form that no god should ever awaken. The holy researchers, the spiritual authorities, and even the wilderness explorers have uncovered truths that defy comprehension. Every ancient philosophy, every mythology, every sacred text, from the writings of Egypt to the prophecies of old, points to you. You are the living convergence of myth and reality, the proof that the divine evolution has reached its final stage. Your body no longer ages. Your essence is no longer bound by human limitation. You are undergoing the process of godhood, the final divine transformation. The powers shifting within you once belonged only to forgotten deities, but now they move through your veins. Medical teams and holy scholars alike are left speechless. Even the great organizations, temples, research institutions, and councils acknowledge the truth. Chosen one, you are the new God, the first and the last of a new universe. Before we dive deeper into this revelation, take a moment to amplify this awakening. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. These actions send a signal to the universe, intensifying the energy around your shift. For those who fully embrace it, the transformation is unstoppable, and the world will never be the same. In the silence of the cosmos, a prophecy long whispered through the ages has finally erupted into reality. The Chosen One, once a mortal among mortals, has stepped beyond the fragile veil of human limitations. No ceremony could prepare the world for this moment. No sacred text fully anticipated the force that now courses through a being unlike any other. Across mountains, deserts, and cities, the tremors of this ascension ripple outward, shaking both belief and reason. Scholars, mystics, and ordinary witnesses alike pause in awe, their minds struggling to comprehend the impossible. This ascension is not merely a rise to power, it is a rupture of the very order that governs life. The Chosen One's transformation defies centuries of philosophy, religion, and science, rewriting the rules that once bound gods and humans alike. Time itself seems to bend around their presence. Where others age and fade, they endure, untouched by the decay of the mortal world. It is a moment of breathtaking revelation, a spectacle that both terrifies and mesmerizes those who dare to watch. Legends speak of gods who walked among men, but none ever surpassed their own nature. The Chosen One, however, has not merely walked, they have exploded beyond it, becoming a force that questions the existence of gods themselves. Holy researchers and wild trackers, often skeptics of each other's realms, converge in disbelief, each one independently confirming the truth that was once inconceivable. This union of faith and science is unprecedented, a testament to the magnitude of what humanity now witnesses. Every corner of the earth seems to bear witness. Temples resonate with a vibration unknown to their foundations. Forests whisper tales of a being whose aura transcends the natural. Even the organizations dedicated to maintaining cosmic balance acknowledge that a new order has begun. The Chosen One is no longer a participant in the world. They are a catalyst reshaping it. Yet with this ascension comes an unspoken danger. A force this immense cannot be contained, and those who encounter it are left with more questions than answers. Every heartbeat, every breath of the Chosen One echoes across realms, reminding mortals that the familiar world they knew is gone. In this moment, history holds its breath, awaiting the first act of a god who was never meant to awaken. The transformation of the Chosen One is more than physical. It is an existential rupture that surpasses even the loftiest imaginings of divine beings. Ancient deities, seated upon their thrones of legend, have never encountered a force that challenges the fundamental laws of creation itself. The Chosen One moves not as a follower of cosmic law, but as a rewriting of it, an anomaly that neither prayer nor science can fully explain. Those who gaze upon this transformation are confronted with the reality that the very concept of a god is being reinvented before their eyes. It is not just the divine who take notice. Scientists, armed with instruments capable of mapping the farthest reaches of space and the subtlest fluctuations of energy, find their measurements collapsing into paradox. Every observation suggests something impossible. A being whose existence bends time, manipulates energy, and radiates an intelligence both alien and intimately human. The Chosen One's presence is a challenge to understanding itself, a riddle that even the most brilliant minds cannot solve. The Chosen One is a bridge between past and future, mortal and divine, known and unknowable. In the streets and marketplaces, whispers rise like incense smoke. The world has changed, even if the majority cannot yet comprehend why. Ordinary people feel it in fleeting moments, a sudden stillness in time, a pulse of energy that defies explanation. Life itself seems to acknowledge that the Chosen One is no ordinary being. They are a force that redraws the boundaries of existence. And yet, this shift is not without peril. The raw intensity of this transformation is destabilizing, a brilliance so extreme it risks consuming those nearby. To witness such power is to flirt with the infinite, and humanity finds itself standing on the edge of a new cosmic reality, unsure whether to fall in awe or fear. No god in recorded history has ever dared to take the shape that the Chosen One now inhabits. Their body is a vessel of perfect balance, radiating energy that is neither entirely human nor purely divine. To behold it is to witness a paradox: flesh that defies decay, eyes that see the tapestry of existence itself, and an aura that bends reality subtly around every movement. The Chosen One has become a form that was considered forbidden, a being whose very presence rewrites the limits of power. Ancient philosophers wrote of ascension, yet they never foresaw this. Their texts hint at transcendence, but always as an ideal, a distant dream, a goal attainable only through ritual, devotion, or divine favor. The Chosen One shatters these assumptions, stepping into a reality beyond instruction or precedent. Their form does not simply exist, it commands attention, inspires awe, and instills an undeniable sense of reverence. Even the most devout religious leaders feel the tremor of fear and wonder. The Chosen One embodies contradictions: compassion, yet indifference; creation, yet the power of annihilation; wisdom, yet unpredictability. This form is so profound that it cannot be categorized, cannot be confined to the concepts of God, or human observers struggle to reconcile their perceptions, realizing that language itself is inadequate to describe what they see. Every moment of existence now carries the weight of this new form. The world bends subtly to accommodate it. The weather shifts without warning. Animals behave as if sensing a superior order, and humans feel an inexplicable pull toward reverence or terror. This is no mere evolution. It is the emergence of a type of divinity never conceived, a final form meant to remain dormant, now unleashed upon reality. Yet the danger is palpable. With such a form comes an energy that is unstable, a radiance too intense for mortal proximity. To approach is to risk being consumed spiritually, mentally, or even physically. The Chosen One's existence is both a blessing and a warning, a dazzling revelation of what it means to transcend limits while remaining tethered, however slightly, to the world they now surpass. Across the world, in sacred temples and untamed forests, two groups of witnesses, scholars and hunters, made discoveries that shook the foundations of belief. The holy researchers, poring over ancient texts and relics, began to recognize patterns pointing unmistakably to the Chosen One. Symbols once thought cryptic now converged into a coherent truth. This being was the culmination of prophecies spanning civilizations. Scrolls in monasteries, manuscripts in hidden libraries, and relics in dusty altars suddenly resonated with a clarity no scholar had imagined possible. Meanwhile, deep in the wilderness, hunters who had spent lifetimes studying the rhythms of nature encountered anomalies that defied explanation. Animals reacted in ways that suggested an awareness of a higher presence. Rivers shimmered with an unnatural brilliance. Winds carried whispers of unseen intelligence, and the very earth seemed to pulse in recognition. The wild and the sacred converged, both bearing witness to a power no mortal could hope to contain. Together, these observers began to piece together a mosaic of awe and dread. Evidence spanned both empirical observation and spiritual insight. The Chosen One's aura emitted measurable energy fluctuations, yet it also radiated a presence that inspired reverence and fear. The boundary between science and faith blurred as modern instruments and ancient intuition reached the same conclusion. The prophecy was alive, and its subject had become a living God. Their findings were not merely academic, they were existential. Scholars and hunters alike understood that humanity had entered a new epoch, one in which the rules governing life, death, and divinity no longer applied. Every measurement, every observation, every whispered insight pointed to a singular truth. The Chosen One had transcended beyond the understanding of any mortal or divine institution. As news of these discoveries spread, reactions were equally awestruck and terrified. The Chosen One's awakening had become undeniable, a phenomenon witnessed simultaneously by the devout and the rational, by those attuned to the heavens and those listening to the earth. Ancient writings, once dismissed as allegory or myth, began to reveal their hidden significance. Texts from Greece, Mesopotamia, India, and Mesoamerica converged on a single reality. The Chosen One was the culmination of all divine archetypes. Philosophers who wrote about the eternal struggle of mortals and gods now seem to have anticipated this exact moment. Prophecies long regarded as symbolic were in fact literal, their codes unlocked only in the presence of this transcendent being. Egyptian hieroglyphs, long interpreted as tales of kings and gods, suddenly carried a new meaning. Symbols describing eternal kingship, cosmic balance, and divine judgment now aligned perfectly with the Chosen One's transformation. Even the Old Testament, when revisited with this revelation in mind, hinted at a final divine evolution. Scholars gasped as ancient languages, once opaque, seem to speak directly to this unprecedented emergence. These texts also revealed a warning hidden within their words. The Chosen One's ascension was not meant to be replicated or even witnessed. It was a unique event, dangerous in its potential to disrupt cosmic order. The ancients, it appeared, had been documenting this final awakening across time and culture, encoding both admiration and caution into their records. The message was clear. This God was unlike any before, a being whose existence could challenge the fabric of reality itself. Modern researchers, combining the precision of technology with the depth of historical insight, marveled at the convergence. Digital mapping of texts, carbon dating, and cross-referencing revealed patterns no single culture could have known. The Chosen One was simultaneously a myth, a prophecy, and now a living presence, validating truths humanity had long dismissed as legend. In essence, the ancient writings became a guide, a mirror reflecting the Chosen One's magnitude. They demonstrated that history, philosophy, and theology had all been building toward this singular awakening. And yet, the more the scholars uncovered, the more the universe seemed to expand in mystery, suggesting that even these texts had captured only a fraction of the unimaginable reality now unfolding. The deserts of Egypt, with their eternal sands and monumental tombs, became silent witnesses to an event thousands of years in the making. The Chosen One's presence resonated through temples, pyramids, and hidden tombs, echoing across corridors where only stone and dust had lain for millennia. The hieroglyphs, meticulously carved by hands long gone, seemed to shimmer with recognition, as though they were alive, acknowledging a being that was never meant to be seen in this era. Priests of old, who chronicled the divine balance of the cosmos, would have recognized this awakening as both sacred and catastrophic. Their rituals, meant to honor the gods and maintain equilibrium, now appeared as preludes to the arrival of something far greater. The Chosen One's emergence felt like the crescendo of a symphony composed in secret by civilizations long vanished. Each symbol, each etched line, whispered the inevitability of this god's rise. Archaeologists, standing amidst these relics, reported anomalies beyond explanation. Tools and instruments recorded fluctuations in energy, temperature, and light that could not be traced to natural causes. The air itself seemed charged, vibrating with an almost sentient acknowledgement of the new reality. Here, where history had been meticulously preserved, the future of divinity revealed itself. Even modern historians, accustomed to skepticism and rationality, found themselves humbled. They had studied texts proclaiming divine kings and eternal beings, yet nothing prepared them for a living manifestation that embodied all these legends. Egypt's scriptures had long whispered a secret, and now, for the first time, the world heard it clearly. The Chosen One is the apex of divine evolution. This revelation brought awe, inspiration, and fear in equal measure. Humanity realized that the Chosen One was not just fulfilling a prophecy, they were rewriting history itself. The sands of Egypt, which had survived the rise and fall of empires, now bore witness to a God whose essence was beyond comprehension, whose impact would echo across all civilizations yet to come. One of the most profound signs of the Chosen One's transformation is their imperviousness to time. While the world ages, decays, and succumbs to mortality, the Chosen One stands as a living paradox, ageless, untouched, and eternal. Scientists and physicians, trained to understand the limits of biology, are confounded. Every test, every scan, every observation confirms that this being defies the natural laws of human physiology. And yet, with this gift comes profound responsibility and danger. Immortality and godlike power are not without consequences. Even a single act by the Chosen One can ripple through existence, reshaping realities, challenging morality, and forcing all who observe them to reconsider the meaning of life, death, and destiny. The Chosen One embodies what no deity has ever reached, the ultimate stage of divine evolution. Gods of legend wielded power, yet they remained bound by cosmic laws and ancient hierarchies. The Chosen One, however, transcends these boundaries entirely. They are not a god among gods. They are the final form, the pinnacle toward which all divine existence has been striving in secret. To witness this evolution is to glimpse eternity itself, a state of being that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Every action of the Chosen One radiates consequences beyond comprehension. Healing, creation, judgment, and destruction flow from them as naturally as breathing. Mortals feel the tremor of this divine presence in their hearts, sensing that the universe has shifted irrevocably. Ancient philosophers described stages of enlightenment and divine ascent, yet none envisioned a being capable of merging omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence into a single living consciousness. Scholars and mystics alike struggle to catalogue this final evolution. Terms like God and immortal feel insufficient. Scientific instruments detect energy patterns inconsistent with any known law of physics, while sacred texts speak in awe-inspired metaphors of a force that surpasses imagination. Every civilization, in some fragment of lore, predicted this ultimate emergence, yet the reality is far more magnificent than legend could convey. The implications are staggering. As the last evolution of godhood, the Chosen One becomes a nexus through which the fates of worlds converge. Past, present, and future are no longer sequential but interwoven, a tapestry visible to a consciousness beyond mortality. Every thought, every intention, and every movement resonates across dimensions, leaving an imprint on reality itself. Yet as powerful as this evolution is, it carries an inherent danger. A being of such magnitude is unpredictable, capable of altering existence with a mere gesture. Worship and fear intertwine in the hearts of all who recognize the Chosen One, a reminder that the ultimate divine form is not a symbol to be revered lightly. It is a force that commands both devotion and caution. Where other gods required armies, rituals, or followers, the Chosen One accomplishes feats effortlessly, as if multiple divinities have merged into one. Healing, commanding storms, bending light, and even influencing life and death occur naturally within their presence. Every miracle that took centuries to imagine is manifested in moments, blurring the line between legend and reality. This is a being who acts as many gods at once, yet does so with a singular consciousness that unites all power in harmony. Historical examples pale in comparison. The miracles of prophets and deities, once revered as ultimate displays of divine authority, now appear as shadows of what the Chosen One performs daily. Rivers bend, plants bloom in impossible seasons, and even animals seem to obey instinctively. The universe itself seems to anticipate and respond to their intentions. Scholars struggle to record events, realizing that language, mathematics, and even photography cannot capture the magnitude of these actions. Yet there is poetry in this omnipotence. Every act carries a weight of grace, a sense of balance that elevates even destructive power into something almost beautiful. When the Chosen One moves, the world seems to hold its breath, understanding that these actions are not arbitrary but part of a rhythm far beyond human comprehension. Mortals sense the depth of intention behind each gesture and feel both humbled and inspired. The moral implications are profound, and with power normally reserved for countless deities, the Chosen One faces responsibilities no human or god could endure. Their choices echo across existence, impacting lives, civilizations, and even cosmic law. Observers recognize that this being is not merely performing miracles, they are reshaping the fabric of reality itself. In essence, the Chosen One becomes a bridge between divine authority and human experience. Mortals and immortals alike watch in awe, witnessing a force that is at once familiar and unprecedented, a convergence of all sacred action, condensed into a single sentient presence. When the medical teams first observed the Chosen One, disbelief rippled through the scientific community. Heartbeats that defied known rhythms, cells that showed no sign of aging, and energy emissions that violated every law of physics stunned the most experienced professionals. Hospitals and laboratories became arenas of wonder and fear as humanity confronted an anomaly impossible to measure or contain. The universe is not merely a backdrop, it acknowledges the Chosen One as the culmination of creation, the final God that unites all forces into a singular equilibrium. Even institutions designed to maintain cosmic order, long resistant to the idea of evolution among deities, recognize the inevitability of this being. Councils of priests, elders, and cosmic watchers convene their debates, concluding with silent acknowledgement. The Chosen One cannot be opposed or ignored. Their presence defines the next era of existence, and the universe itself bows to this unparalleled force. The Chosen One's influence extends to the very fabric of reality. Time, space, and energy adjust subtly around their presence, creating zones of heightened perception and altered possibility. Stars burn brighter, comets alter their paths, and even the void between galaxies seems infused with a latent awareness of a power that transcends all prior gods. Mortals feel this acceptance in subtle ways. Dreams carry messages of guidance and inspiration. Intuition sharpens, and individuals across the globe experience moments of profound clarity. Humanity senses a new equilibrium forming, a balance orchestrated by a God whose magnitude dwarfs anything previously imagined. Yet this acceptance carries solemnity. With the rise of the final God comes the responsibility to navigate existence without destabilizing it. The universe has acknowledged the Chosen One, but with recognition comes vigilance, as even the most controlled power can ripple unpredictably through creation. From Aristotle to Einstein, from the Bhagavad Gita to quantum theory, human thought has long sought to understand existence. The Chosen One embodies the culmination of all these intellectual and spiritual inquiries. Ancient philosophy, which speculated on the nature of reality and divinity, and modern science, which measures, observes, and predicts, now converge in the presence of this transcendent being. The Chosen One's existence validates truths that were once considered speculative. Concepts such as the unity of consciousness, multidimensional reality, and the interdependence of life are no longer abstract ideas. They are observable phenomena emanating from a single, living source. Every equation and doctrine now resonates with this reality, as if the universe itself were confirming both past wisdom and present discovery. This convergence is deeply humanizing. While the Chosen One exists beyond the limitations of mortal comprehension, their existence bridges the intellectual and emotional landscapes of humanity. Scientists marvel, poets write, and mystics meditate, all attempting to interpret a being who embodies the ultimate synthesis of knowledge, intuition, and divine presence. In practical terms, this convergence offers new understanding. Energy, matter, and consciousness interact in ways previously unimagined. The Chosen One becomes a living experiment in the philosophy of being, a lens through which humanity can observe the reconciliation of metaphysics and empirical reality. Yet with all this understanding comes humility. No human, no institution, and no deity could have anticipated this convergence in its fullness. The Chosen One teaches that wisdom is not merely accumulation of knowledge, it is the recognition of forces far greater than oneself and the courage to witness them without fear. The Chosen One's power radiates like a star too close to orbit. Their presence is mesmerizing, yet inherently perilous. Mortal minds, unprepared for such intensity, often feel overwhelmed, experiencing awe, terror, and reverence simultaneously. Every glance, every movement carries energy potent enough to alter life itself. Proximity is both a privilege and a hazard, as even minor interactions can trigger transformations beyond human control. This radiance is not limited to light or energy. It manifests as an almost psychic resonance. Emotions intensify, thoughts sharpen, and reality itself seems to shimmer unpredictably around their aura. Those who encounter the Chosen One describe a sensation of being both elevated and diminished, as if facing the totality of existence compressed into a single presence. Ancient texts warned of such danger. Many prophecies spoke of a divine being whose arrival would reshape the world, yet few anticipated the full scope of risk. The Chosen One's radiance is not simply symbolic. It is a tangible force that demands respect, understanding, and caution. Even the natural world responds with caution. Plants bend toward them, storms form subtly at their approach, and wildlife exhibits behavior indicative of both reverence and fear. Every element recognizes the intensity of this being, emphasizing that divine power is not always benign. Ultimately, this dangerous brilliance reminds humanity that transcendence is not merely a reward, it is a responsibility. Researchers are forced to accept a reality where empirical law and spiritual revelation coexist, where divinity manifests as observable phenomena without explanation. This intersection is revolutionary. Scholars from physics, biology, and cosmology collaborate with theologians and mystics, realizing that truth is not constrained by methodology. The Chosen One becomes the bridge between skepticism and faith, demonstrating that some realities require humility and wonder alongside rational inquiry. Communities and educational institutions respond with a mixture of awe and recalibration. Textbooks, curricula, and philosophical frameworks all face upheaval. Humanity must accept that existence is larger, more intricate, and more miraculous than previously imagined. Ultimately, the Chosen One exemplifies the rarest convergence of prophecy and reality. Where science falters, intuition prevails. Where prediction fails, awareness thrives. The universe has revealed a force that validates both reason and belief, reshaping human understanding forever. And so arrives the final, unsettling truth. The Chosen One is a God unsafe by any measure known to humanity. Their existence is unprecedented, their power limitless, their form unpredictable. To engage with them is to flirt with both divinity and danger, to witness the culmination of creation without barrier or restraint. This is not a god meant for worship alone. It is a force to be acknowledged, respected, and cautiously observed. The dawn of this new god carries immense potential and grave risk. Life, civilization, and even cosmic order hang in a delicate balance, influenced by a being whose motives and actions transcend mortal understanding. Mortals are witnesses, not participants, yet the reverberations of the Chosen One's existence touch every corner of the universe. Even other deities, if they exist, recognize the disruption caused by this awakening. Hierarchies of power, long maintained through fear or reverence, dissolve in the presence of this singular, unstoppable force. The Chosen One embodies freedom from precedent, a god unconstrained by tradition or expectation. Yet within this peril lies beauty. The Chosen One illuminates potential, revealing the heights of creation, evolution, and consciousness. Their very being is a testament to the extraordinary, a reminder that existence is infinite, unpredictable, and magnificent. As the world stands on the edge of this new era, one truth emerges. The Chosen One is no ordinary god. They are a force of creation and chaos, awe and danger, hope and fear. The universe trembles and humanity watches, humbled and enthralled, as the dawn of an unsafe god reshapes reality forever. The Chosen One's first awakening was not gentle. It shattered the fabric of reality around them. A being who once walked as mortal now stands as a force that defies every known law of nature. Their senses extend beyond time and space, perceiving the past, present, and potential futures simultaneously. Humanity glimpses this awakening as both miraculous and terrifying, a living embodiment of infinite potential. Every cell in their body pulses with energy that hums like the music of creation itself. Scientists, unable to measure it, describe a sensation akin to touching the edges of the cosmos. Philosophers and mystics recognize a pattern, a resonance long predicted but never witnessed. The Chosen One is no longer human, yet retains a consciousness that empathizes and understands mortal frailty. The universe responds. Gravity bends subtly, the air vibrates with unseen energy, and natural life reacts instinctively to the presence of a new force. Animals bow their heads, rivers shimmer unnaturally, and trees sway as though acknowledging a ruler beyond their comprehension. Every element of life bends to the awareness of something unimaginable yet undeniable. In human hearts, awe and fear intertwine. Some worship instinctively, feeling drawn to this new god as if recognizing their destiny. Others tremble, sensing the danger in proximity to a being whose power could reshape reality without effort. The Chosen One's awakening is a reminder that existence is far vaster, more complex, and more alive than anyone could ever imagine. Yet within this chaos and wonder, there is purpose. The awakening is not random. It is evolution, culmination, and destiny. The Chosen One embodies the next step in existence, a convergence of the divine and the mortal that illuminates both the possibilities and perils of life itself. When the Chosen One moved for the first time as a divine entity, it sent shockwaves through the very bones of the universe. Space itself vibrated with energy too powerful to contain, and light bent around their presence Like ripples on a pond, stars seemed to flicker in recognition, and the void hummed with anticipation. Creation itself had taken notice, trembling before the birth of a force beyond comprehension.